Hey guys, happy September. This is our first RHS podcast where we're going to be talking about current issues of the month. I'm Amin Bajwa.
I'm Mariah Costa, and today we have a special guest with us, Eva Waller. She's a senior here, and she can introduce herself.
Hey guys, I'm Eva. Let's talk about some stuff.
Okay, so to recap the world news, we're going to first start out by talking about Charlottesville.
This is a big one.
Yes, it is. So just some basic facts about Charlottesville. It happened on Saturday, August 12th. It was a Unite the Right rally planned for the removal of a statue of Confederate icon General Robert E. Lee. It was described as one of the largest white supremacist events in recent U.S. history. And the day before, marchers had descended on the University of Virginia, carrying torches, yelling some slogans, and then protesters gathered again on Saturday, and there was some violent clashes with counter-demonstrators. We talked to a couple of RHS students about it, and they, if you want to read our article, it's on the stampedenews.org, sorry. And it was a big issue. It was very divisive. Very important, though, to talk about.
Yeah, it's really important that, as students here, we, are open and talk to each other about these issues. I feel like this is something that, of course, the divide is already there between us, and I think it's important that in order to have the culture at Rodriguez, because it's so diverse, in order to have everyone open and free and comfortable to talk about their own opinions, first we have to be accepting of others, and then be willing to speak our own. So I think that it's important that we don't kind of stifle each other's opinions. Mm-hmm. And
Well, if we really think about going back, way back when America was created, this was supposed to be a safe place for people to come.
Yeah.
This was a new land. This was a new place, and everyone was super excited, and we believed that this is where we could do what we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And now, we have added so many rules. There's so many rules, and we should be able to have a safe place. America is supposed to be the safe haven, and we've completely ruined that. And some people just don't feel safe where we are. Yeah. And I should be able to go to school and not feel like I feel threatened in any way. Mm-hmm. This is supposed to be a safe place where I can learn and I can get my education. Yeah. And if someone is stifling, we're going to go back to that word, stifling my education and stifling my rights, then I'm going to be it's an upsetting thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's one of those things you should be safe. Mm-hmm. Wherever you are in America, and that's not the case anymore.
Mm-hmm. And talking about political issues and racial issues and ethical issues at school is part of your mm-hmm. education. So coming to school and being able to talk about Charlottesville or talking about other issues that are a problem for you or your community, you should be able to express those opinions at school because you can learn a lot about what others believe, about what you believe, from having discussions, educated, respectful conversations with your peers.
Yeah, that's a key word, respectful. Mm-hmm. Because it's important that we all value each other's opinions enough to listen and care. Mm-hmm. And that you never know. That might change your perspective on something. Someone might give you an added viewpoint that totally changes the way you think about things, and might even change the way you react to different situations in life. And I think it's education. It's what we're here for. Mm-hmm.
I think that having civil conversations with people with differing views than you is very important and very key to growing up as a person. Because in your throughout your entire life, you're going to meet people that you completely disagree with. Maybe your boss has an opposing religion, mm-hmm. an opposing view on abortion or very important things and very controversial things, and you have to be able to have a civil conversation mm-hmm. without insulting the other person, because I feel like that's a really big part of growth. Yeah. As a teenager, mm-hmm. as a person, you need to be able to have a conversation with someone that you don't agree with without insulting them, mm-hmm. just insulting their views. Yeah. And having a good conversation about it.
Yeah.
Because you can learn so much. I personally am a liberal. I am a Democratic. I have a Democratic view on things, and I'm able to have conversations with conservative Republicans because I'm pretty respectful. I get my point across. Don't get me wrong. I will tell you how I feel, but I won't insult you, and I won't insult how you feel. But we can have a conversation about it and why you believe the way you do and why I believe the way I do.
Mm-hmm. Going to what you said, like, back about, like, the freedom to express yourself and talking, I think that actually relates to another topic that we talked about this month, which was body positivity. So we have the Feminist Club representative with us here, Almond, to like talk about it.
So Feminist Club meets every Monday in Miss M's room. If you guys are interested in talking about women's issues, gender equality, feminism is not just for girls, it can be for guys. If you just believe in gender equality as a whole, throughout society, if you feel strongly about an issue, about women's health, about reproductive rights, if you believe anything like that, it's important to also talk about those at school. So one of the biggest feminist movements at the moment is body positivity, and we have Eva here who's going to talk a little bit about it.
I think my body positivity started not that long ago, actually. It took me a long time to be very comfortable with who I was. I think everyone does, like, has that time where there's kind of like, I'm icky. That's how it goes. And it's part of growing up, in like middle school specifically, is when we're all like, ew, I'm changing and I don't know who I am. I'm questioning my life. Like, we have those times. And so being in high school, like, especially, is where you're trying to figure out who you are. Everyone's trying to figure out who we are. And being able to wear and represent yourself is a very large part of like knowing who you are. I think everyone kind of has that time where they're figuring themselves out, and it's hard. It's really hard. And being able to feel comfortable in your own skin is something lots of people can't conquer yet. It's a long, I don't want to say vicious, because then it sounds like you're attacking. You kind of are attacking something. You're attacking this, like, this lump in your throat. Like, you got to get at it. Being positive about your body is something that lots of people, I feel like I'm talking in circles at this point.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to, like, find my point.
It's not about size to me. Like, that's something that's huge in, like, the body positive community. Like, you know how people are, like, I think it's only for one group of people, but it's for all of us. Like,
body positivity isn't just for fat girls.
No, really. And that's something that I don't think people realize. Like, it's for every one of us to just love who you are and be okay with that, you know?
And I feel like body positivity isn't just strictly body, it's mind too. It's being confident in who you are and being able to express that on the outside. So just being body positive is being positive about who you are and having the confidence to express it to the outside world.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said, that body positivity isn't for just one size. It's not. Usually that label is, that body positive thing goes along hand in hand with, like, bigger girls, because big people are supposed to be ashamed that they're big. I don't care that I'm fat. That's why I wear crop tops. And, like, my favorite comment in the entire world, and I talked about this with you guys last time, is, "You're so brave." I wish I had your confidence. Those things are backhanded compliments, and people don't realize it. Like, I actually went home and I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, "Really? I didn't realize that's not a compliment." Because, like, you are associating brave with, like, oh, you have, like, the heart to go out in public and wear a crop top. I'm like, yeah, so can the girl who's 120 pounds. Just because I'm, like, you know, twice that doesn't mean I can't do it. You know, like, I'm not brave. I did not fight for my right to wear a crop top. I fought for myself. You know, like, that was an inner conflict, and it's one of those things, like, I still, like, find myself pulling down my shirt, and I'm like, why am I doing that? Because the girl sitting right next to me is wearing a shirt that's not even really a shirt. Like, I'm pulling down the thing that shows a centimeter of my stomach. Actually, when I was at school one time and I was wearing, like, a crop top, someone commented on the stretch marks on my stomach. And, I mean, like, I know I have them. I know they're there. I definitely see them. And she was like, wow, I could never do that. I could never do that. And I was like, why? Why? It's hot. It's 120 degrees outside. You think I'm not gonna wear one? And it's one. They think that this is an obstacle for me. They think that this is like this huge, tremendous thing that I'm doing, and it's really not. It's just hot outside.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
So do you prefer for people not to comment on fashion choices at all?
No, like, if you think my shirt's cute, go ahead, say your shirt's cute. Ask me where it's from. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But, like, and commenting on how I'm wearing it is something you could tell anyone of any size. But once you bring in how I'm brave and how it is taboo for people over, like, a certain
But it
size.
singles you out. It puts you, like, in another category from everyone else.
Yeah,
It
like,
shouldn't.
I'm suddenly
It
that
shouldn't.
brave big girl who wears crop tops to school. I'm like, I guess?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that most people don't quite understand, and it is kind of a hard thing to wrap your mind around. But it would be weird if I looked at Amin and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so brave for wearing a crop top today." It's just weird. Don't say it. Just say you like my shirt and ask me where I got it from. I will tell you if they have your size.
Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of going to segue into our next topic. Throughout this month, there's been a lot of natural disasters. Recently, there was another earthquake in Mexico. This is the second one. And then the hurricanes, just the rapid succession of them. We have now Maria, but then it was Harvey and Irma and
Now Maria, it's been a hard couple of weeks for a lot of people in the U.S. as well in the Caribbean, in Puerto Rico, and it's caused a lot of concern as to what it means on a global scale. Because if this is happening to our country right now, how is this going to affect the entire world at any given point? And it's had a lot to do with climate change and what we should do to stop this kind of rapid fire of natural disasters. So, yeah.
There's so many interpretations to that, in my opinion, right now. Like, everyone's like, the world is ending. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're ruining it. People don't realize, like, small things. It's the small things. You don't throw away your trash.
Yeah.
And that's, like, that bothers me so much. People just leave their stuff around and they don't realize what it's doing to the earth. Like, we have giant landfills filled with trash and we're going to run out of space. Like, there's small things like that. You don't save water. We're, like, ruining our planet. And I think for us specifically, because we are in California, nothing crazy has happened to us, we don't really feel that effect. There is a few students who attended RHS and then they moved out down south and they're directly affected by it, and we don't even see. I actually watched a Snapchat story of someone who I know who lives out there, and she had to leave her home because she had to swim in her house. Like, we don't realize how crazy that is. Like, we don't have that right now. We don't have firsthand exposure to what they're losing. They lost their home. Imagine not being able to go home because it's underwater.
yeah.
We don't live in Atlantis like they do right now. That's an awful way to put it, but it's true. They're living in it's underwater.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that, and then we're just getting hit one after the other. I don't know if I can snap on this. Thanks. We're getting hit one after the other.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, like, the school came together. We raised some money. I know leadership collected some, and they totaled
Over $1,100. So that was with the coin drive that all the RHS students did in their first period. So thank you for doing that. I know it's going to go directly. We started it when Hurricane Harvey was at its peak. So we sent the money to the Greater Houston Community Foundation. And I know Avni, who goes to school, she's
Senior
a
here.
senior. She has had tremendous success.
Yeah, over $200 and still going. She's selling buttons for Hurricane Harvey relief
right.
funds.
It happens.
Yeah, the word. Relief funds. And so she's made over $200 so far, and she's still selling them. So you can go to her and get a button for $1 and help out.
There are a lot of ways to donate. Right now it's hard to send supplies because the roads are closed. Whole cities are shut down, no power. So donating money is probably the best way to help. There's just a lot of destruction right now. Entire islands in the Caribbean have been destroyed. We don't know when it's going to be back to normal. So any way you can help is greatly appreciated. And just keep in mind every day your impact on Earth, because while we're not affected by it right now, we could be. So just keep in mind what you're doing to the Earth every day, and try to do, like, recycle a water bottle, pick up trash, do your part, and hopefully we can help out the Earth.
I think, like, it's kind of a hard thing to grasp. Like, this is your Earth too, and lots of people don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize that small impact that throwing away your cheeseburger wrapper on the ground does, because you think someone's gonna pick it up, and
who? Who's gonna come behind you? Like, that's the thing.
You should come behind you and pick up your trash. Like, we don't realize, and, like, I think we, as Californians, this is gonna come off like awful, we're being selfish. We're being selfish. We're like, oh, it hasn't happened to us yet, so I guess. And we are doing so little. Like, I didn't even know we were having a coin drive. I had no idea. No one told me. I saw a sign and I thought it was for, like, next week. Like, we're not taking, like, a really efficient step. I can't speak too loud because I'm not taking active initiative, but I think we all need to take one step forward because it isn't affecting us. And that shouldn't matter.
And that's why talking about it like this, how we are just now, actually helps. Like, again, going back to the open dialogue we were talking about with Charlottesville, it relates to every single issue that we've talked about today. Open dialogue, get the word out there, and it'll just help the world. Not even just at Rodriguez, but specifically because we all can influence the culture here at school, but all over the world. And so we've kind of talked about some darker, deeper issues today.
It's good to talk about them.
It is very good
to talk about them, but now we have something that we're really passionate about, which is our entertainment picks for the month. And so Eva can add some of hers in, but if Almond wants to start it off.
Basically each month we're going to be talking about, like, movies, music, stuff we've really been into. Hopefully you guys will check some of it out. And so one of my top movies for the past month or so has been Dunkirk. It's a World War II drama. It's set in Dunkirk, which was where an evacuation of like 330,000 Allied troops occurred. It's a really beautiful story. It's a war movie, so there's lots of action if you're really into that, but it also has a emotional side, and it talks about soldiers and the struggle. So if you're into that, check it out. It's still in theaters, and it has a great cast, great performances, and it's critically acclaimed. If you like war movies, if you like emotional movies, you'll really like it.
Well, just like Almond loves Harry Styles, I love the Beatles. And so one of my favorite movies is Across the Universe. It's from 2007, and it's really quirky. So, I mean, it might take a certain kind of person to enjoy it. I have to say that, because it's a movie musical with all Beatles songs. And so it takes place in the late 60s, early 70s during the Vietnam War. And it just shows how, like, influential, like, the music that the Beatles produced was. Like, those lyrics, they get me every single time, because you don't realize until you watch that movie how it really fit that time period, and how what they were saying. Like, they were political activists in their own right, and I just love that. Like, and you really see that, how it applies to that time, and the storyline is great, and it's a great film. Please watch it. That's all I can say.
The Beatles are really, like, they're not only they're iconic.
Yeah, they are.
Right? But they have carried on. Like, I remember, like, as a kid, my mom would sing Blackbird to me.
Yeah.
Like, to sleep. Like, this is so sappy. Like, when I was a kid, like, when I couldn't sleep, she'd sing Blackbird, and I'd KO right there.
Yeah, mine was Imagine. John Lennon, and I'd be out, you know?
Yeah, and, like, they take those, and, like, we create them. Like, they create them, and we take them, and we hold them close to our heart. Like, they become family traditions. I am 17. I'm going to be 18 very soon, and I've already made an appointment for a tattoo. I'm going to get a blackbird surrounded by sunflowers.
Wow.
Like, it's just like
I love it.
totally random, but like Blackbird is a very iconic song in my heart, as well as like in my family. The Beatles are dope.
Yeah, that's my music pick. I mean, of course, it goes along for the month is Abbey Road. The whole album, I mean, just listen to it. I recently bought it on vinyl, and I've been playing it on my record player
Adorable.
constantly. Thank you. Constantly. And it's just, I don't know, I just love their lyrics. I love the music. I mean, what else can I say? I love them. It's just...
Can I have like an anti-movie pick?
A movie you don't.
Yeah,
no one
like,
should see.
don't see it. That's a mess. It is a mess.
Did you see it?
Yes, kind of. I don't like any kind of scary, like remotely. But I was kind of forced into seeing it. I said I'm not gonna buy my own ticket, and my friend went and bought my ticket, and I had to go see it. It's not like the original at all.
Yeah.
The actor who plays it is hot in real life, but not in the movie. It's not a horror anymore. It's more of a comedy.
Yeah.
They made it a spoof, and that's not what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like scary at all. Like, I could barely watch Carrie, and I was cracking up at it.
Yeah.
If you want scary, don't watch that. That's obnoxious.
Well, speaking of hot actors, I have to talk about the Godfather trilogy, which I don't know if I want to call it that because they're so good. You can watch them independently, like separate. But okay, come on, young Robert De Niro, young Al Pacino, like
Mariah, you're cracking me up.
better, honestly. Like, and besides that, I mean, that's just the like benefit to the movie. Like, the best part is, of course, the plot, the storyline. I mean, Sicilian mafia, and it's just like every second it just hits me with the emotion and the action, and it's just a classic film. Like, if if you are a movie lover and you haven't seen The Godfather, what are you doing? Like, watch it.
Guilty.
You're guilty.
I love movies. I have not seen that. I want to save the classics for my heart when I'm like old.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is that a weird thing? Like, I really want to like save the classics for when I'm old, so I have like a real appreciation for them.
Yeah. That's a good
I don't know. It's like a weird thing I have right now.
I feel like this movie, if you saved it for when you're old, you'd be disappointed that you didn't spend all those years rewatching it. That's just this movie.
Min, what's your music pick? We didn't get to that.
Well, I was just gonna say, I was talking about Dunkirk. I didn't mention Harry Styles was in it, but if that means anything to you, because whenever I say that, people think I'm biased because I do love Harry Styles a lot. I do. He's in Dunkirk, so if that's an added reason to see it, definitely take that into consideration.
That's hilarious.
And going back to what Mariah was saying about the Beatles, another reason they're so iconic is because they keep inspiring new artists today. And one of my music picks is the self-titled album Jake Bugg by Jake Bugg. He's not like a well-known singer-songwriter, but he's from the UK. He has an album. It came out in 2013, but I've been listening to it a lot lately. It's really good. It's definitely inspired by the Beatles. It's very rock and roll, but soft rock and roll. A lot of lyrical ballad kind of rock jams. It's really, really good. Check it out. It's kind of like Oasis meets Bob Dylan. It's very, like, that's what I said, like rock and roll lyrical. There's a lot of good tracks on there. Slide, Broken, Note to Self are my top 3. It's very good.
Yeah.
If I have to do a music pick, I will do it because I personally love music. I have to give a giant shout out to one of my best friends, Maya. She has a wonderful taste in music, and at one point I realized I was listening to kind of trash, and I was like, I need to kind of evolve. And it wasn't because I liked it; it was just it was cool, and I was like, I don't actually like any of this, but it's on the radio, and I'm gonna go listen to it.
Yeah.
My favorite album right now is Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. That is an amazing album. He has lots of collaborations with lots of great artists. I totally just blanked. Rex Orange County is a great artist. He's featured on that album in, I think it's Boredom Got a New Best Friend is like a line in the song. I'm not sure if it's the name of the song. Glitter's a great song. And then Kali Uchis in it as well. Everyone loves Kali Uchis. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
And another like shout out, Brockhampton is a wonderful artist. He is one of the few queer rappers in the scene. He's kind of alternative. He's kind of like hardcore rapper at the same time though. He raps, not rocks. He does rock. I feel like that's a lame thing to say. He raps about like current issues, and he raps about like being like a black gay rapper, and he's not taken seriously. And he's like, well, I'm still gonna rock the scene. I said rock again. This is lame. He still comes in, gets it going, and then he's like, I did that. Mic drop. There we go. He is not featured on Flower Boy, but I must say Tyler the Creator is one of my favorites right now.
Awesome.
Heck yeah, boy.
So we're going a little long on time right now, but if you check our articles, our entertainment picks for the month, we have art and theater picks. Dear Evan Hansen, just had to shout that out.
Oh, heck yeah, boy.
We have book picks. We have more movies, more music. So if you're interested in like the kind of genre we're talking about, because we kind of stick around this for this month.
Yeah, I mean, you can check out our stuff. We have a lot of stuff, so hopefully, if you weren't really interested in what we were talking about, maybe you'll find something that you will really like in our
relate
articles.
to. And then also, if you want to be like have a shout out on here, if you want to be a guest speaker, or if you have an issue that you want us to talk about, or write an article about, or just something that we should be aware of, you can email us at rhsworldnews@gmail.com, and you can just leave us whatever you feel like we should know.
Shameless plug. Drama Club meets on Mondays. Tuesdays, I lied. No, Mondays. I'm wrong again.
Yeah.
Mondays, we meet Mondays at lunch. If you're interested in drama or theater or anything like that, we have meetings at lunch on Mondays. And if you're interested in theater, we are doing 4 shows this year. Come in, check it out.
Yes. Because Eva is actually our, well, we call it the segment People the World Should Know, but she's our person. And so that's something that she's involved in and I'm involved in too. So yeah, if you want to hang with us, and then we have Almond and Feminist Club.
So come check that out. We have a lot of clubs. Club Fair is going to be on October 6th, so if you have a issue that you want to talk about with a club, then go to the Club Fair.
Join all the clubs. Do all the things. That should be the motto. Do all the things.
Do all the things. Yeah, I feel like that's great to close us out today.
That's our word of wisdom for this month.
Do all the things.
And if you see Eva around campus, make sure you say hi.
I have short, bright red hair. I'm probably wearing an orange belt. Come say what's up.
Yeah, we just like to say hi too. So.
Yeah, so if you guys see us around, want to talk to us, we're always
around.
We're always around.
Do all the things.
Do all the things.
Do all the things, guys. Have a great one.
Have a great month. We'll see you next month.